Hi everyone! Today I'm going to talk about Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle. I'm going to start off by saying I know I always talk about fragrances that I love, and that's because it's really easy to talk about the things that you love, right? Nobody wants to talk about things that they dislike or be in a negative space, in a negative state of mind as you're planning a review and thinking about a review. So I can see why people don't post negative reviews. At the same time, I think it's really important to be transparent about what you're trying and how it hits you and what your impressions are. I like this fragrance. I wouldn't say I love it, but I started off really disliking it. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what changed for me. The perfumer on this is Dominique Ropion, and the main notes are rose and patchouli. If you're already part of the fragrance community, you know the notes. You've heard about this fragrance, probably smelled it a million times. This is kind of the exemplar for rose patchouli scents in the fragrance community. So it's interesting for that reason because people will refer to it all the time. And I just had to have it. I just read about it and I smelled it in store and then I bought it. This is a 10 ml travel size. It does not come with a lid because you're supposed to buy a case for it, I guess. It was about $100. So not cheap. A full bottle is about 300 Canadian. So definitely something that you are investing in rather than just kind of buying to have. So Portrait of a Lady, let's get into it. Portrait of a Lady is named after the famous novel by Henry James. Definitely my favorite author, probably my favorite of all time. His writing is very dense, very descriptive, but descriptive in describing character. He's very character driven, not really descriptive in the way of, The Hobbit, where it's about the setting. So I love that novel, Portrait of a Lady. It's about a woman who inherits a fortune and then gets into a relationship and kind of goes from there. Amazing book. I couldn't find my copy of it because it would have made for a really good picture, but I'll have to do that. So this fragrance is named after that novel. Whether it's named after the main character or just maybe the message, the theme of the novel, we don't really know. I couldn't really find that out. But like I said, this is a rose patchouli fragrance. It is very forward in the rose and very forward in the patchouli. So if you're not a rose person for whatever reason, this is probably not for you. I am a rose person. I love rose fragrances. I have so many of them. To me, they're all different. So I guess I'm a collector of rose fragrances more than anything else. So rose patchouli and Portrait of a Lady, but this is definitely a spicy scent. And it is so peppery in its opening. And the peppery aspect of it, that spiciness, that bite that pepper has, is really what turned me off of this right away. I smelled this and I was like, no, this is not what I smelled in the store. But I was trying so many things that maybe it was kind of hard for me to smell the pepperiness. That pepperiness does, dissipate a little. It mellows out, I would say, with the rose, with the patchouli. This has cloves, this has cinnamon. Like I said, it really stays in that spicy kind of vibe that it has, that it establishes right off the bat. And so I didn't really love this. I didn't reach for it. I found myself not wanting to wear it because it wasn't a fresh enough rose for me. And then one day I was kind of in a bad mood. I wasn't happy. I was super stressed out. I had a lot of things on the go at the same time, and that was giving me a lot of stress in my life. And I opened my fragrance wardrobe, which if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it already. I opened it and this just leapt out at me, and it was like, wear me, you'll feel better. And I put it on and I got it. For some reason, it just clicked It was exactly the right fragrance at the right time, and it just made me feel so much better. It kind of matched my mood, and sometimes when something matches your mood, it just amplifies it. But sometimes when you feel your mood is matched, you feel like you're heard. And for some reason, this perfume just gave that to me. Even though I was by myself in that minute, this gave me that security that, yes, this is a stressful time. It'll go away. Wear this spicy, rosy fragrance and everything will be okay. And it really was, it always is. So I don't know, I got it at that time. So peppery, spicy, rosy. So this is kind of a rose with its thorns, I would say. It's very pungent, and it's just so unique. And I think that kind of accounts for the price. So it's up to you whether you think $100 is worth it or $300 is worth it, or how much you want to spend on a fragrance is worth the scent. But I would say that I haven't smelled a rosy fragrance that's quite like this, that's so intense in its spiciness and its rosiness. And that is what really appeals to me. And I think that's what puts this into that niche $300 category, because you're getting something that you can't get anywhere else. I will say that this is an eau de parfum, and it is so, so, so strong. So when I spray this on my clothes, I can smell it the next day. I can smell it all over the room. And then once I wash my clothes, I can still smell it. So I think that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. And that's definitely different from a lot of other scents that I have. People have said that this used to be even stronger, and that the percentage of essential oils or fragrance oils that are used in Frederic Malle fragrances is higher than any other fragrances. And then after Estee Lauder bought this brand over, they kind of, didn't have that same quality, same percentage of fragrance oils. I personally cannot comment on that because I haven't smelled the older versions, the older formulas. I will say that on the bottle, this does not say what percentage is, actually, that's weird. Usually it says what percentage is, it says 80% volume. So that means 80% of this is alcohol and 20% is fragrance oil, which is on par for an eau de parfum. If you're ever buying an eau de parfum, it'll be around 80, 85, sometimes it's 83, that percentage of alcohol versus fragrance oils. So I still think it's super strong. So I know people are always going to be like, the older version was better. It was better when it was niche. That's fine, to each their own. I would say if you're interested in fragrance, I love this. Now I like it. So ever since it gave me that companionship in that stressful moment, I love this fragrance. I think it smells so good. It's so unique. You can't mix it with anything. Oh, it's so nice. It is really nice. Expensive, bougie, but definitely, at least if you're paying that much money, you're getting something niche rather than paying a lot of money and getting an eau de cologne or, something that you've smelled a million times. I can promise you that this is something different than other rose fragrances out there. It's probably copied a million times because it's not new, but this was unique at the time, and I think it's still unique for rose scents. I think usually when people buy something that's rosy, they want to smell pretty, and this is not necessarily pretty. Frederic Malle is a niche perfumer or a niche perfume company. They really work with independent perfumers to give them their own vision. So I think that's really interesting, and they're definitely not the only brand that does that now, but they were pretty groundbreaking when they did start doing that. So yeah, you are getting something unique and interesting when you buy this or when you smell it. There shouldn't be lots of other stuff out there that's like this. But like I said, it's been around for a while, so it's probably been copied. and that's okay. Anyways, that's the review today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!